Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Eman. Today's video, as you can tell from the very dramatic title, this is not going to be a regular makeup tutorial. Yes, you'll see how I did this makeup, but what this video is really about is something that I've wanted to share on my channel for a long time, and I'm super excited to be sharing this with you guys today. I think that this is something that's gonna help so many of you out there. Yes, it's a dramatic title, but I promise you guys, it's dramatic because it's true. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. I'm actually kind of nervous to film this video, you guys, but I don't know why. My heart is racing a little bit. Deep breath. Okay. This is not going to be an intense video, you guys. This is actually going to be a very casual me talking to you as I'm doing my makeup. I really want you guys to kind of just get comfortable. Watch this video when you really have some time to just sit back and relax and just kind of take in everything that I'm going to say and all the products that I'm going to be using. I'm going to list them in the description box because I'm not going to be calling them out as I'm doing the makeup because that's totally going to distract me from what I'm saying. So instead, I'm just going to list everything for you guys below so you can check that out if you want to know what I used. How this all came about, as you guys know, I was in a Garnier commercial earlier this year. I've been sharing throughout this whole entire year my experience with using the Garnier Olia Darkest Red Rose color. And Garnier and I wanted to do one more video together where I talked to you guys about my hair journey, and I was really thinking I don't want this video to be another how-to tutorial about my hair. I wanted this to be something so much more meaningful. It was perfect timing because this was something I've wanted to talk about for a while on my channel. So I'm gonna start to get into this makeup because if I don't, we're gonna be here all day. So I tweeted a phrase the other day, a phrase that I have really come to love, especially within the last year. And that phrase is, vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And I cannot tell you guys how true that phrase is. About this time last year, when I was going through a very hard time, one of the closest people to me in my family said straight to my face, after they saw YouTube videos that I put out talking about what was going on in my personal life, that I should have never posted those videos. I should have never talked about that stuff because it made me look weak. And that's not who I am. That stuck with me for so long because I felt so sad that this person perceived me being vulnerable as a weakness, where actually me talking about something so personal and opening up to you guys and sharing that was one of the best things I've done all year, because not only did it help me, I know that it helped so many of you guys out there, and it made me connect to you guys in a way that I've never had before on my channel. So I use that phrase a lot in my life, and I'm using it today for this video because what I'm going to share with you guys today are truly 3 things that have changed my life, and changed my life in such a positive way. I knew that this is something I had to tell you guys about, and hopefully this will help someone out there. I'm gonna break this video down in 3 sections. And when you go to rewatch this video, because you probably will need to, you can just start watching from right here. First section is called the question. Second section is called the exercise. And the third section is called the action. The question, this is probably the easiest part of this video. It's literally just a question you need to ask yourself. So what is that question? Life moves so fast, you guys. We go through every single day doing all of these things without really stopping. So much of what we're doing is because of routine or expectations, but it's very rare that we actually just stop and think and ask ourselves, what makes you happy? As simple as that. And I know that's not like mind-blowing, but it's such a powerful question. And for a lot of people, it's hard to answer. I know for me, it was very hard to answer. What makes you happy? It's such a simple thing to ask. When you can't think of an answer right away, that's when you have to start to think, okay, why is that the case? Why am I at a point in my life where I don't even know what makes me happy? And what do I need to do to change that? What brings you the most happiness and joy in your life? What do you love to do? What puts a smile on your face? That is the question. For the life of me, you guys, I could not answer that question. It was so crazy that I didn't even know what I loved. I didn't even know what made me happy, what I enjoyed doing. I was so used to just doing my day in and day out. I realized that I was focusing so much of my energy on things that I thought made me happy and trying to bring those things into my life, and then realizing at some point that, whoa, those things do not make me happy and they need to go. But what does make me happy? So that is the question. And that is the question that hopefully by the end of this exercise, you guys will get closer to answering if you've had a hard time answering that question like I have. So the second part of this is the exercise. And this is what's going to help us figure out how to answer that question. Throughout this whole year, I was going through so much, you guys, and I had so many thoughts in my head constantly, just so many thoughts running through my head all the time. I couldn't think straight. So one of the things that I started to do that helped me so much was journal. At the end of every day before I went to sleep, I would just write in my journal, just write out all my thoughts. And let me tell you guys, it was pouring out of me. It felt like a release, just like letting all that out, just letting it out, whatever I was feeling or thinking, like every single thought in my head, just letting it all out onto paper. I was writing it down by hand in an actual journal. Nowadays, actual writing, when you're writing a lot, you can get like hand cramps. Like I literally was like, my hands were like cramping by the end of it because I'm so not used to writing that much. If you prefer writing in a journal on your computer or on your phone, do that, whatever works. But the idea is to just release and not hold all of these thoughts and emotions in your head, in your heart, in your chest. So you just feel like you're just like going to explode, you know, like you just need to let it out. I was journaling every day. And sometimes it would be pages and pages and pages. And other times it would just be a few sentences. But either way, I just wanted to just, express myself in another way. That's not just talking to my friends or my family. Because sometimes when you're going through something, it takes so long to process your emotions that you're literally just talking about the same thing over and over again, but you're just saying it in different ways. And the people around you can see that, but you might not see that. So I just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm being judged when I'm talking to people and sharing how I feel. So instead, I'm just going to write in my journal. And at the end of the day, we all process things in different ways and on our own timelines. People have expectations of when they think you should get better and be over things. You're on your own timeline and no one else can tell you otherwise. So you need to do things the way you're going to do them and deal with them the way you're going to deal with them without having other people's judgments. So I journaled every day and I was just writing everything out and it felt great. This is an exercise that I really, really recommend for you guys. If you're going through a situation where you just have so many thoughts and feelings and you just don't know how to process them, journaling really, really helps. I'm going to tell you to take it to another level, and this is what really made a difference. So yes, I was writing all these things every single day and not really processing them because I was just writing them out and then just moving from one day to the next. But I started to do an exercise where at the end of every single day, when I'm writing in my journal, I would rate each day. And this is the exercise that I really want you guys to do because this is what really kind of was a shift for me. I would write out whatever I felt about that day and then I would rate it plus sign if it was a positive day, a minus sign if it was a bad day, and a 0 if it was just neutral, nothing good, nothing bad happened. It was just an average day, nothing specific. So I started this exercise and I was continuing to journal like I always do. At the end of every day, I would rate positive, negative, neutral, whatever it was. And I did this exercise for 2 weeks straight. So for a full 14 days. At the end of the 2 weeks, I went back and I read all 14 days and I wanted to find patterns. I wanted to see, okay, the days that were positive, what happened on those days that made it a positive day? And the days that were negative, what happened on those days that made it a negative day? And what I found, you guys, was so unbelievable. Like when I say life-changing, literally this was the turning point for me this year that took me from being the most unhappy person and feeling like I have no control to being where I am now in such a better place than I've ever been. When I went back and I started to really look where I had a negative day, I noticed that there was a common theme in all of those days. I had no idea that this thing that I thought that I wanted and I thought that like was something that I needed to make me happy was actually what was causing so much negativity in my life. And that's the crazy thing, guys, is that sometimes our mind plays tricks on us, out of routine or out of habit or out of all of these things, expectations, like all of these things out of fear. That is a big one. So we think because we're used to thinking that way or because we've trained our mind to think that way or whatever reason, that these things that we want or we need are things that make us happy, when in reality, they don't. Not even close. So I definitely noticed a lot of similar patterns on the days that were positive, great days. Common themes for me on things that made me happy and positive are as simple as when I posted a video. As you guys know, this year, my posting schedule was really, really bad because I just couldn't get in front of the camera. And I carried a lot of guilt and I carried a lot of bad negative feelings towards that. So on days where I did post a video and I know I got it done and it was a video you guys loved, which just makes things so much better because when you guys don't love it, but I posted a video and you guys love it, that's a great day. And that was a positive. So I noticed that was a common theme. Something as, as simple as that to something like when I ate well and I went to the gym, that always made me feel good. When I hung out with my best friend who I haven't seen in weeks, that made me feel good. So the littlest things like that I was noticing. And then on the negative side, I'm not going to get into that, but I will tell you guys, it was such a clear, common theme on every single negative day. And I couldn't believe that I couldn't see that in my everyday life. I couldn't see that. I had blinders on. And it took journaling and me literally doing this exercise for me to be able to see it. So at the end of these 2 weeks, I went back and read everything and the patterns were so clear. And immediately, that's when I knew I had to go on to section 3, the action. This third section, the action, this is really the hard part. Now you know. And once you know, you can't go back. You can't go back, you guys. If you know what is bringing you negativity in your life and what is making you unhappy, you cannot continue on those same patterns. You have to make a change. Making changes and taking action is not very easy. For me, I knew that I had no choice because once I saw how clear it was, I knew that I had to take this action. And for me, that action was cutting that negativity out of my life once and for all. So doing everything I can to make sure that thing that is bringing so much negativity in my life, just get rid of it. I didn't want it anywhere near me. I didn't want it affecting me anymore. I just wanted it gone. And I was totally in control of doing that. It just took action and it wasn't very easy to do, you guys. Trust me when I tell you, it was not easy to do. To change something that you've been doing for so long and to think that that thing is actually bringing you happiness and to realize that it's not, and then to just cut it out, say, I don't want this in my life anymore, it's not easy. If you have been at a job for so many years, you thought that this was a job that you wanted, and then you realize after years and years and years that, wow, this job does not make me happy, cutting it off and saying, I'm going to let this go and try to find something else and move on, that's not always easy to do. But I will tell you this, if you do it, as hard as it is, it will change your life and it will bring so much positivity in your life. Because as soon as that negative energy leaves, then you actually have room to bring positive energy in. When I had so much negative energy in my life, there was no room for positivity. It couldn't even come in. It was trying all the time, but there was just no room for it. And as soon as I got it out of my life, all of a sudden, all of this positivity just came flooding in. So the action part is the most difficult, yes, but it is the most important, you guys. This is the step that will make all the difference. And take it from someone who's been there and done it. Whatever that change is that you need to make in your life to make your life a more positive place for yourself, it will be the best thing you ever do. And the great thing, you guys, is this is not something that will take months or years for you guys to notice a difference. This is something that you will notice a difference right away. For me, it was a couple of major changes I had to make. And as soon as I made those changes, everything just turned around. And there's been no turning back ever since. And it made me realize how important it is to truly fill your life, your space, just to fill your space, like all of this, your brain, your heart, like your entire atmosphere around you, to just fill that space with positivity, how important that is. And sometimes we are in environments where that is not the easiest thing to happen. For example, that family member that I told you guys about at the beginning of this video, who told me posting about my personal experience was a sign of weakness. That is such negative energy to put on someone, whether it's a family member or your friend or your boyfriend or your coworker. There's a lot of people that want to just put negative stuff on you. And sometimes you don't have a lot of positive things to turn to. We all go through phases, where maybe we're not as close with our friends, we're not as close with our family, and you don't have a lot of positive sources. So you need to find those positive sources somewhere. For me, a big thing that I turned to is reading books that just made me feel good. I was staying off of Instagram. This is a big one, you guys. I'll tell you why. Instagram gives you so much FOMO without you even realizing it. And that could be a very negative thing. And when you're not in the best place in yourself, Instagram will just amplify that. For all those times where I would normally go onto Instagram and start looking and start thinking, this and that, and starting to feel sorry for myself, instead of consuming my space with that type of feedback, instead I turned that off and consumed my brain and my heart with things that actually made me feel good. And the reason I say Instagram is feedback, because I genuinely think how you consume Instagram depends on where you are. Me being in a much better place, I can look at Instagram and it does not affect me. I can see anything now, and no matter what it is, I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, poor me, because I'm just not in that space anymore. I really think that the way you consume Instagram and how it affects you depends on where you are. So when you're not in a good place, content like Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, that can bring you down even more. So instead of going on to these things that are going to bring you down, consume content that's going to lift you up. I was listening to a ton of podcasts and I fell in love with podcasts. Like, podcasts are my new favorite thing ever, you guys. And listening to and watching interviews of people that I really found inspiring and people that I looked up to. So whether it's someone who was in the beauty industry or whether it was someone who was an entrepreneur, whatever it was, if they were just had a great inspiring story, I wanted to listen and just consume them because it made me feel better. And if there's podcasts that you guys are listening to that you love, please share them below. There is so much positivity out there. You just have to find where to consume it and make an effort to consume that rather than anything else. So as you take the action to remove the negativity that is causing you unhappiness in your life, then you want to take the action of bringing positivity in. And that positivity can come from anywhere. It can come from your best friend, from your boyfriend, from your music teacher. It doesn't matter. Just bring that positivity in. And if you don't have anyone like that in your life, then find it anywhere else, whether it's in books or podcast or whatever. That's just what worked for me. I'm sure you guys can find your own things, but bringing that positivity in is just as important as taking that negativity out. There's one thing I know is that change can be hard, you guys. It is not always easy, but if you can get past the fear, which is the hardest part, change can be a great thing. I hope you guys know that my channel, truly to its core, is about beauty inside and out, feeling confident and feeling the best version of yourself all the time. My journey with Garnier this year and for the last few years has truly been so special, not just because I love the product, but because it's been such a cool thing to have these different periods in my life reflected by my look. So this whole year, you guys know I've been coloring my hair with Garnier Olia 3.6 Darkest Red Rose color. This color has been such a showstopper. It's the type of color where people have literally stopped me on the street and then asked me, who does my color? And I always say, Garnier Olia. You can get it anywhere, Target, Walmart, anywhere. It's been so awesome having this color reflect this whole entire year for me, and I'm gonna look back and remember this year and associate it with this hair color, and it's gonna bring back so many amazing memories. Not only is this color amazing because of how vibrant and beautiful it is, you guys know with Garnier Olia, it's 60% oils, there's no ammonia, so not only does it give you the beautiful color, it leaves your hair feeling so healthy and shiny. You have everything you need in the box. I love the after color conditioner because it leaves your hair feeling so hydrated. Olia is my go-to, and I'm excited to show you what we have coming up for next month. It's a whole new chapter, it's a whole new journey, and I'm just so grateful to be able to share all of this with you guys and to tell you guys that positivity and change are just around the corner. You just need to take those steps to bring them into your life. No matter how you're feeling, where you're thinking like things cannot get better, I promise you they do. I hope some of what I said today will be helpful and will bring some kind of positivity into your life. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. Of course, I'm going to leave a link for you guys below in the description box so you can check out Garnier Olia 3.6 Darkest Red Rose. And I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye!